Okay, so let's look at some of these 16.2 homework problems. Let's start with number 1. Graph the function on a graphing calculator and state its domain, range, and behavior in an asymptote. Okay, I'm not going to graph it necessarily by using a calculator. I'm just going to use the concepts here. So let's review a second. This is bigger than 1, therefore it must be increasing. This is 300. When it gets multiplied, that vertically stretches it when that's bigger than 1, so that's going to make it go up really fast. Okay, other things to remember, this is also your zero term or your y-intercept. So if I'm thinking about it graphically, in essence, just a real generic graph, here's what it looks like. It's got a cross at 300, and it's going up really, really fast. And remember, it always flattens out at 0. So that's what the generic graph would look like. Now, in terms of its domain, okay, its domain, and when you do this, they want you to use inequality symbols for this. Domain is x such that, remember, the domain for all these functions is all real numbers. So negative infinity to infinity. The range, because this is going up towards positive infinity, that would be f of x such that f of x is greater than 0 because it's going up. In behavior, so quick review, in behavior, remember how we talked about for in behavior is basically tracing the function as it goes each direction. Okay, so as x goes to the right, positive infinity, f of x is going how? So if you trace this as you go to the right, that's going up to infinity. As x goes to the left, negative infinity, f of x is going to, if you trace it, go to the left, that thing flattens out again at the x-axis, which is 0. So where is our asymptote? Our asymptote is going to be the equation y equals 0, or the x-axis. And that will always be the case unless there is some sort of vertical translation. And remember, the only way to vertically translate is if you add or subtract something to the end of the function, which we're not doing here. Okay, let's go to the next problem. Problem number 11. So this one wants us to write an exponential function to model the situation and then find the value. So the population of a town is 24,000. Okay, that is our starting point, our starting value, and is increasing at a rate of 6% per year. Now remember, we said with percentages, we got to change those to a decimal. So 6% is 0.06. Now in the other example problems we've done, we've subtracted because it was losing. But in this case, we're increasing. So if we're increasing, we said our R or our B, our common ratio must be bigger than 1. So in this case, we're going to add to 1. That's going to be 1.06. So our function becomes, or our equation, depending on how you want to look at it, A, which is 24,000, what we started with, times B, which is 1.06, to the X, which is number of years. Now, in this particular case, what we want is we want X to be 3. So all we do is we then go to our table, and we're going to go to where X is 3 in our table, and we're going to look at the value. Now remember, one of the things that you'll need to do is put your move the cursor over to the Y column, because this is going to be a decimal, and sometimes it will round too early, but to look at it. So if you do that and you go to your table, so X and y1, because again, we're going to put that function in y equals, go to where x is 3, and you should get, and again, we're going to let's see, is it round 28,584? Okay. All right, the next problem we want to look at, excuse me, problem number 17. And what they want us to do here is they want us to graph this, solve it, but they also want us to list the y-intercept, the domain, the range, give all this context, okay? So I'm going to use this. I'm going to get rid of some of this here so I got extra space to write. Now, again, when you look at the graph here, think logically or common sense. It's a word problem. We said typically word problems are only positive. So if you notice here, we don't have a negative range here. Let's go and evaluate the question. The value of the couch is decreasing, that's important, okay? So decreasing at a rate of 6.2% per year. So in this case, our R, or our B, our common ratio, we're going to subtract from 1. Change your decimal, or your percent to a decimal, so that would be 0.062. I'm going to move this down so I can write. There we go. 0.062. When we subtract that from 1, and if we do that, that's going to give me 0.938. In 2007, the couch was worth $1,232. Find the value in 2014. Okay, so this 2007 is like our zero term. That's our starting point. So 2014 would be 7 years from now. So that's like when x is 7. That 1232, again, is our zero term. So here comes our equation. We got our zero term, 1232, our common ratio, 0.938, to the x, and we want x to be 7 here. Now, what you can do is go ahead, go to your table, plot some points. Okay, so we know this is at 1232 at 0. So 1232, might be somewhere like right there. And again, you're just kind of guesstimating these points. Go to your table, find some other points. So like at 2, it's 1,083 point something. So at 2, 1,083. So again, you're just like barely above here. In 4, at 4 you go and it's about 953. So 4, 953, so I think go down a whole lot right there. At 6, it was 839. So again, right there. And then at 7, and I will go ahead and plot the 7 point, it's 787, okay? So maybe right there. So that's enough to get us going. Now, in this particular case, we only put an arrow on one end. And I know that's real crooked. Again, I got to freehand this. We only put an arrow on one end because, again, we can't go backwards in time, so we don't put an arrow on the left end. So let's talk about the values here. First of all, after 7 years, when we went to the table, and again, you want to put that cursor in the y equals in your table. So x, y1, 7. You want to highlight this side so you can see all the decimals and round to the nearest cent, and you get $787.10. That's how much the couch would be worth. So domain here are your x's, and again, they want inequality notation, so greater than 0 to infinity, because you got to be greater than 0. Your range are your y values. Now, in this case, your range values are going to be greater than 0 because it goes up and it'll flatten out at 0. So that's your range. And then your y-intercept is the value you started with, which in this case was your $1,200.32. That's how much the couch was worth at the very beginning, or your starting point. All right, one more problem. Problem 23, again, it says use a calculator to graph the functions and describe and compare. But again, you don't have to do that if you just know the transformations, okay? Some differences. A has a bigger starting point, okay? Its y-intercept is bigger than B's. Other differences. A is decreasing. It's going down because this is less than 1. B is increasing. It's going up. So B starts lower than A, but B is going to go up past A. So at some point, these two functions would intersect each other. So those are just some quick things. Again, understanding transformations, ways to describe the comparisons between those.